Woo, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? It's your boy Doc Holiday. We back with another HBCU Overdrive, aka it's HBCU tonight. I am the voice of HBCU culture, man. Make sure that you like this stream. Make sure you follow, share, most of all, subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell to get everything HBCU Overdrive. You know how we do for tonight on every weeknight. Man, we just go run down through the whole thing. But before we do that, I'm just gonna go and bring the man with the plan. He represents South Carolina State, but you know what I'm saying? He got a whole bunch of JSU footage for days, man. I'm bringing my boy Cobi up here, man.
What's going on, dog?
What's going on, man? What's going on? I had to put that out there. Then I had to put on my war paint. You know what I'm saying? Got the Jack State long sleeve shirt on.
I feel you. My paraphernalia on the way. Otherwise, I would have had it on. But I'm gonna say that.
You got the Black Dodgers, that Jackie Robinson.
Yeah, no, this ain't Jackie.
That's that was. I think that's Corey Seager from last season. Yeah, man. So everything good down there?
Oh, everything great, man. I'm waiting on Saturday. I'm waiting for the game.
See, here you go, man. Here you go. For everybody that's in the chat right now, man, it is you can talk your noise, but you got to do it respectfully because if not, I will send you to the upper room and you will have to go to court with me. We got my man. Look, we got my co-host on here, Bryant. What's going on, Brian? I might need you to jump on here. I know Mr. Ford will be on here in a little bit, but like I said, we just gonna talk North. We're gonna talk football. So you know, my moderators in here in the chat, and they're gonna tell me not to pay attention to it. But I'm gonna look at it for a little bit. But other than that, just keep it respectful, and you know what I'm saying, we keep it a buck. That's all it is.
Right.
But yeah, man, it is. Bro, I think it was 108 degrees today here in Dallas.
Ooh, that's crazy.
It was 108, man. I promise you, I'm not talking no noise about this. Like, bro, it's 9-10 o'clock at night. It still be like 98 outside.
See, it don't be bad until you got to get in the car initially, and that wave of heat just hits you in the face. And if you got leather seats on, it's over with.
Oh yeah, you got leather seats. You're dumb enough to get a car with leather seats, dog. You might would just like that's why people in the summertime put towels over the seats so they won't get burned every damn night, every day. Like it is funny though, man, because it's like I go outside and smoke my cigar and just chill out on the patio. But other than that, I try to keep it within like 30 minutes. After that, man, look, it's time to go in the house.
You gotta go in the house, man.
It's time to go in the house. And it's crazy because my daughter, she just had she called me yesterday. She just had an asthma attack. But,
man, I'm sorry.
Nah, she had an asthma attack, but I think she got the flu. So, because her mama tell me she running a fever and all this other stuff. So I'm like, okay, man, long as y'all won't go to the actual hospital, come up to Children's in Dallas, it's all right with me. But once that happened, man, look, I'll be like, damn the show.
Yo, got to. I know what them asthma attacks is like. I had one when I was young too. Ain't nothing to play with.
So yeah, man, look, we all it's all good. She stayed at home today, so it's good with me. So she stayed at home. Her mama stayed at home today. So, it's all good. Long I don't hear like I said, I don't hear no reports about anything going bad with her. That's a good day in my book right there. Yeah, man. We got Timon up in here talking about you on tour. I told y'all that Fireplace was gonna come up in here, y'all.
You already know that, man. Listen, bro, she on tour is like accurate. Like, so many people ask me, it's like I ain't even had the time to be on like everybody's stuff. So yeah, it's accurate because everybody want to know. Everybody want to get a little glimpse about Saturday's matchup. I ain't telling y'all nothing. Everybody try to get a little secret. I ain't saying nothing.
I know. I think I sent the link to
Tuck.
Yeah. So hopefully he'll be on here tonight too. So
okay.
But man, we got a good show coming up, man. But I'm gonna get through this rundown right here. Always, man, look, you want to become a subscriber, just hit that subscribe button and make sure that if you want to hit all social medias where I'm at, the Twitter and the Instagram, and you see the name right there on the bottom, HBCU_overdrive, man. So we got it going on. But then also you want to check out Cobi stuff, man, just hit him up on Twitter, on Instagram.
Whitley, y'all not unplugging this. They got to stop saying that, bro. They done moved into a whole hashtag on Twitter.
Yeah, oh Lord, that hey, I'm telling you, for all y'all South Carolina State fans, if y'all catch this L, y'all about to catch all this heat.
Man,
and the memes about to come out too. I had to put you out
we
there.
We catch this L. Don't nobody say nothing to me leaving the stadium. I ain't talking to none of y'all. I'm leaving. I ain't saying nothing to nobody.
Man said he is not talking to nobody, man. Boy is gonna be petty out there.
That's gonna be out the way it go.
Man, but yeah, also, man, you want to become an exclusive member, just jump out the chat, hit the join button. 2 tiers, $4.99, $6.99, purple and blue. Like I said, all proceeds basically goes towards either an initiative or goes back towards the channel for any kind of equipment or anything that we need to upgrade the channel. And basically that's what we're trying to do. Like I said, we on the road to 2,000 subscribers. I know we've been kind of slow for the last couple of months, but we need to get to that 2K for the subscribers, y'all. Also, man, me and the missus, as y'all know, we hitting that home stretch. So you want to go ahead and donate to help us tackle child speech impediment. Like I said, all proceeds go to a child in need. And we have a place where we're going to send it to. It is Clearly Speaking Therapy, which is here in Dallas, Texas, basically in Irving, Las Colinas area. So we'll have that. And like I said, you'll see me. I will make a video of that to let everybody know that I'm actually going to the place and presenting the money to this organization. But
Zoe, what's good?
We got Zoe. What's going on, Zoe? Also, last thing, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, you want to donate to the cause or just donate to the channel. You can just hit the Cash App. Or you can hit my PayPal, just like my friend Bryant that's coming up on here, man. And like I said, HBCU Overdrive for the Cash App. What's going on? Let y'all know this is my original co-host from Saturday nights.
How you doing, everybody? How's everybody? Man,
it's hot.
I'm up in Canada. It's hot here, so I know it must be smoking down there. I know you can be frying eggs on sidewalks down there.
Man, it's crazy. And then also, last thing but not least, we got birthdays that's here. Like I said, the missus, her birthday was on Monday, so she celebrated being 39 years old.
Yes, happy birthday.
She's actually in the air right now, so she's headed back home to LA.
Praying for safe travels.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, so she'll be landing probably about another hour or so. So she is on her way to LA so she could be with my oldest stepdaughter. And basically, so she'll be out there for about a couple of weeks and then she'll be back. So we'll be back before we go to Texas State.
Nice.
So yeah, we'll be back for that. And then I want to send my condolences. I did this on Twitter the other day. Man, we're going to send our condolences to Treshawn Smith. If y'all don't know, his nickname is Pig, but they also call him the landlord. Basically, if you don't know what it means, back when I think either Willie or Coach Dooley was the head coach at Prairie View, they did not beat Grambling for some years. And basically, they have when they beat Grambling, I think this was in 2018, if I'm not mistaken. When they beat them in 2018, he decided to come out there with the eviction notice. So basically, my man said, "You getting evicted from the Cotton Bowl State Fair Classic," and pretty much Prairie View has not let up since. So it's a tragic that he passed away this past week. Man, young man, had a lot good going for himself. So, like I said, we will keep our prayers, you know what I'm saying, our thoughts and prayers with his family and with the Prairie View football team, you know. So, you know, he was a good player. And you know, from what I'm hearing, he was a good dude as far as a student and you know, just as a young man too. So, man, like I said, just we praying for him. And also, man, it is the Black Mamba's birthday.
Yes, it is.
Cobi Bryant would have been 45 today on this day, but everybody knows that he tragically passed away early January 2020. Also with his daughter and I think 9 other people that was on the helicopter. But like I said, if he was here, bro, I don't know if he would still stay retired. I think he would have probably came out because he think he would have got a couple of more buckets.
Yeah, I don't think he would have came, but I think he was just so into what he was doing off the court, and his movie career. He won an Oscar, and just building up that mama mentality as far as facilitate is what he was doing off the court, and I think he would have been more involved in actually women's basketball.
Yeah. Yeah, he was real. He was real involved with women's basketball because of, you know what I'm saying, his daughter Gigi, and you know what I'm saying, like, and it's crazy because I'll be 44 in October, and I remember, like, it was literally, I remember when he got drafted, bro. we remember when he got drafted by Charlotte, then got traded to the Lakers, and now I thought he was gonna be a bust at first, but then turned out, man, the dude 20 years with one organization and never thought about leaving he did think about leaving the Lakers, but in the end, he finished his whole career out in LA, made a name for himself, Hall of Famer,
the greatest Laker of all, the greatest Laker of all time, they say, and I believe that.
Oh yeah. By far, he is the greatest Laker of all time. I'm sorry, Magic, but yeah, he got you beat, bro. But man, we got some other things going on. Now, if Mr. Ford is up in here, I need to get Mr. Ford up in here because there's a couple of people that got some questions about what's going on. First of all, shout out to South Carolina State with the big diesel truck coming through on campus in Orangeburg. Now we have questions. We have questions about that. Now I know they say it's supposed to be 4 Hall of Famers, of course, Donnie Shell. Who else is the Hall of Famers, Cobi?
Deacon Jones. I can't remember the other two by name.
Harry Carson.
Harry.
And it's one more. It's on the tip of my tongue.
What's
now
that?
It's on the tip of my tongue.
I see him when I walk in the stadium every Saturday. I don't know how they lose my mind.
Now the question is Deacon Jones? I mean, understandably so. He did start off at South Carolina State,
right?
But he ended up finishing up at Mississippi Valley.
Mm-hmm.
Would he still be considered a Hall of Famer through South Carolina State?
He went there. He went there for 2 seasons. He was a star player there. Like, why would he be?
Hey, Valley.
He graduated from Valley, so Valley could put him as that too, and they should. But he started here. Like, why would he be?
Hey, well, Valley can say they got 2 Hall of Famers. Like I said, Jerry Rice, Deacon Jones, and I think he's the only one I think he's the only one in actually college football and pro football to
So
be
the Hall of
recognized.
Famers are Marion Motley, Deacon
Yeah.
Jones, Harry Carson, and Donnie Shell.
Donnie Shell. Now, Robert Porcher needs to be one. Robert Porcher needs to be a Hall of Famer. I don't care what anybody say. He played on some terrible Lions teams, and he should be a Hall of Famer, regardless, because dude got over 100-something sacks, and he was the heart and soul of the defense when he played with Detroit. But he needs to be one, and it's long overdue that he needs to to get in that Hall of Fame. Now, I got a question for you, Cobi.
Mm.
What did you think about the I wouldn't say response, but the quote from Coach Buddy Pugh? What he said about TC? I just want to get your opinion.
So, Coach Pugh has been doing this for a long time. All right, anybody who knows Coach Pugh knows that he does this with literally every opponent that we face. He will flatter every single opponent that we face. It is no different for Jackson State. All right, it don't matter who it is. If y'all would hear him talk about Clemson when we played them, or the Gamecocks, or Norfolk, North Carolina Central, he gives you your flowers. He ain't no hater. You know, if you've been a great program, even if you haven't been successful, he's going to find the great things about your program and about your coaching staff. And he has so much respect for his opponent. That's just who Coach Pugh is. Now, I'm not going to say that a little part of that ain't buttering y'all up a little bit. So that way when we come out on Saturday, you know, we can give y'all the proper beat down. But nah. For the majority of it, man, he really just has respect for every opponent that we face. That's just who he is. You know, it ain't no secret behind it. He's not trying to deceive anybody. That's really who Coach Pugh is.
Okay, man. Look, Coach Pugh remind me of somebody. Like, he remind me of somebody's grandfather. Like he really remind me of somebody's grandfather. Yeah. Like the granddad. Like, you go to the house and he have everything over there. But
man, listen,
don't get out of line, because he'll give you that look.
If you hear one of Coach Pugh's stories, bro, he'll definitely remind you of somebody's granddad, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, Coach Pugh's been at it a long time, and he knows the ins and outs. He knows the gamemanship. But you know, he's Cobi. You know him obviously better than I do. He's probably genuine. You know what, and looking for the positives. But you know, in the background, he wants to beat that booty.
See, hey, Mr. Ford, how you doing?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Boy.
Hi, Mr. Ford.
How's it going?
Doing good. Doing good.
Mr. Ford, man, my mom loves you so much, man. She keep asking me.
Thank you.
Ask me when I'm gonna have you back on.
Listen, y'all are right, but buddy, man, we've been knowing Pugh a long time. But I'm gonna tell y'all this: he didn't lie. He telling the truth. It's just that a lot of people don't want to accept that Jackson State is going to be better under TC Taylor than they are under Deion Sanders. A lot of people can't accept that, but it's the truth. And what Coach Pugh said, it was 100% truth. That team this year, to me, is going to be better than last year's team.
I don't think people can see it right now, because I think it's too early for them to see it right now. So they don't, you know, it's a little bit of recency bias, you know, with that, because you see what Prime did with the number one recruit, the number one slot receiver. You know, you look at him going undefeated in the SWAC for 2 years, only losing 2 games, you know, and the facilities he brought. So, you know, a lot of people have recency bias because of that, and they can't see it just yet. But I mean,
well, time will change that. Listen, and I go back to TC's quote, they don't know. That time, they're going to see. They're going to see. Because now, one thing I know is better is that coaching staff. Now, I tell anybody, that guy from the Dallas Cowboys, that Dennis Thurman, he was the GOAT. Okay? We can't replace him. But everything else to me is better, especially that offensive staff, because that offensive line coach to me was the weakest coach on that staff last year. Okay, you bringing that guy from Liberty? I know he's better than that guy who was offense coordinator last year.
Oh, Maurice, yeah.
Yeah, he's better. But like I said, time will tell. Time will tell. Because I'm gonna tell you, when I heard Coach Pugh say what he said, I had respect for him because he told the truth.
Mr. Brown up in here cutting up.
Hey, Mr. Brown.
Mr. Brown cutting up.
He ain't lying, bro. If we lose, I don't want to talk to y'all, man. Let me go back home, man.
Like, bro, that how long is the drive from what part of South Carolina you from to Atlanta?
I'm at the bottom of South Carolina. It's about a 4-hour drive for me. I ain't going back home right after the game. I'm just saying, like, I'm gonna go back. You know, I'm staying with my cousin this weekend, so I don't have to buy a hotel. So I'm just go back to my cousin's place. Like, I ain't talking to nobody.
Oh, and here she goes. The lady is on here. She says she is watching from the sky.
How?
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Lady Holiday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, right?
It is so crazy, y'all, man. She wanted to celebrate her birthday, but she had jet lag because she came back from she was coming back in from Nebraska from assignment with a job. And she wanted to celebrate so bad. And next thing you know, I'm walking in, we bought the cake and everything on Sunday. And then Monday, everything was fine. I went to work, came home early, and tried to get her to say happy birthday. She'd have been knocked out. She'd have been knocked out. But yeah, man. So first and foremost, man, South Carolina State. You got Corey Fields coming back. No parts of it where he was injured. Other things he was dealing with, other personal things. What do you see about Corey that's different from last season to now?
A lot of people don't know what Corey dealt with last season. Losing your parents. Losing your parents. Having injuries. On top of that, Tyrese Nick, who was the starter at quarterback before Corey became the starter, he comes back. He's healthy. So now Corey is getting snaps. You know, now his job is that he was dealing with all of that last year. And now, am I giving him an excuse for his play? I'm not. It was bad. He knows that. We talked about that. But the difference from last year and what I see now, night and day. Night and day. Now, because this is Corey, we don't know what Corey we gonna get. Sometimes he comes out and plays great. Sometimes he comes out and you like, Corey, what's going on? But what I can tell you is watching him from the spring and watching him in fall camp, I don't know if it's the new offensive coordinator, but he looks a lot more comfortable. He looks a lot more decisive. He has a variety of throws now. You know, every single throw he used to throw last year was just a bullet, right? Now, you know, it's a little bit more variety. He know how to put air in that thing now. He just looks like he knows what to do when he's more confident with how to run the offense. So that's the difference between what I see now and what I've seen last year.
Okay. Now
let me ask Cobi this. Now, Cobi, South Carolina State got 2 new coordinators. Tell me a little bit about their background and what do they bring to the table.
So the offensive coordinator that we got now, he was with us before. He left a little bit and he came back. What I see in him, first of all, I like his offense anyway. I think it's going to be a lot better than what it was last year. The only critique I would have of it is the amount of screens he likes to run. You know, I've never been a fan of quick screens, you know, because it doesn't work. It never works for me. You never see it really work. So other than that, you know, I think what he brings is a variety to the offense, right? So we're not going to be heavy on the run. We ain't going to be heavy on the pass. You're going to see a nice little variety of both. You know, we're going to get the tight end more involved. He's going to find ways to get our best playmakers in the open space. That's what I love about this offensive coordinator. As for the defensive coordinator, I still don't know much about him. I'm still trying to gauge him as well, to be honest. The only thing I know, he's the one who came from North Carolina A&T, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, right.
Yeah, so I still don't know much on him. I was trying to do some research on him. And it just kind of eluded me. But as for the offensive coordinator, I'm excited about what he brings to the table. He's bringing a much-needed change to South Carolina State in the way we run offense. As a matter of fact, I even told somebody, it kind of reminds me of the movie Drumline, where they tried to get Dr. Lee to get out of his old ways. You know, you see what I'm saying? And run some stuff. That's what this new offensive coordinator reminds me of in South Carolina State. I love that we got him back.
Well, now, Cobi, let me ask you this. Now, you know, South Carolina State always ran what we called in the old days the VIA, which was kind of like triple option. Will this guy show some triple option, or is he just straight up the middle type, or what we call smash mouth, or will he give us some of that triple option?
So you're going to see some inside zone, some outside zone. From what I've seen, from all the practices that I've been to in the spring games, I haven't seen options. That doesn't mean they're not going to run it. It just means, you know, they've been every time I've been, they've just been installing like basic packages and stuff like that. So I haven't seen it, but that doesn't mean that we can't see it Saturday.
So what you're saying?
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Mr. Ford. Go ahead, Mr. Ford.
I was just saying that, you know, under Willie Jeffries and even under Coach Pugh, that was their bread and butter. They ran a VIA type offense, a running quarterback, triple option type play. Now they had wide receivers, because I remember when it was Charlie Brown, and then I knew some other guys they've had, but they were more of about a 70% run team.
Mm-hmm.
And so, in your opinion, is he more of a 50-50 man, a 60-40? What do you see him being?
It's still going to be more run than pass because the backfield is loaded, Mr. Ford.
Okay.
It is loaded.
Right.
Load. I'm talking about 6 to 7 running backs in that room. You know,
right.
And so it's going to be more run than it is pass, but we're going to pass a lot more. Like it's not going to be just a short out pass from Corey Fields or a little 3-step drop and let it go. It ain't going to be none of that. You know,
right?
We've kind of expanded the passing game a little bit, but it's always going to be more run than pass, just because that backfield has always been talented for South Carolina State.
So
I was glad to hear y'all acknowledge Marion Motley. Most HBCU people don't know nothing about Marion Motley. So kudos for y'all for that.
But having a backfield that deep is going to open up the passing game too, because you know what I mean. If teams going to start coming down in the box, it's definitely going to open up the passing game. And then maybe you know what, like you were saying, with the young man experience, what he did last year, you know, losing his parents, that's hard for any person to deal with. You can see what happened to professional quarterbacks with Brady going through what he went through last year. You know, he wasn't into his game. For a young man to go through what he's been through, and then this year, obviously, you know, maybe feeling comfortable in his own self being, and having a great running game. You know what? They won't have to depend on him in the passing game. So it'd be probably, like you said, a great mix.
And Cobi, can I ask Cobi this question? Cobi, why in South Carolina State playing Benedict? And why y'all ain't got that game in Columbia?
So listen, I actually been asking about this because if we play Benedict, the whole state is gonna be on lock. Like I want that game back. But actually, from what I've heard, and this has not been confirmed, but from what I've heard, that game is coming back within. I don't want to say next year, but maybe the year after next. Like that game is going to be back on the schedule soon. I don't know when they'll announce it. And again, it has not been confirmed, but I have heard from inside the program that that's part of the reason why Benedict was there earlier during the offseason is because they trying to get that back. They want to get that game back on the schedule.
Well, let me follow up with that. Are y'all considering Chennis Berry? I'm not trying to run Coach Q out the door, but if he decides to retire, are y'all considering Chennis Berry?
And actually, I asked about that too. That nobody is thinking about Coach Pugh leaving right now. Like when I asked about it, I didn't even get a sense that Coach Pugh is leaving anytime soon for them to be thinking about another head coach.
Okay.
Hey, so now we got so your guy Shaq Davis, Mr. Do It All, last season, you know. Bad quarterback player. No, still had almost 1,000 yards receiving.
Still averaged 20 yards per catch.
Still averaged 20 yards per catch. He in the NFL with the Saints doing crazy things with the Saints. What is South Carolina State gonna do to replace that type of production from the receiver standpoint?
So when it comes to a talent like Shaq Davis, a talent like that doesn't come around every so often, you know. So you cannot replace a Shaq Davis, you know what I'm saying? But we do have Rakeem White, who is the same size, better athleticism, same wingspan, who was actually supposed to be the yin to his yang. All right, had a few injuries Now he's healthy now. So we got that. We still got the second leading receiver behind Shaq Davis, who nobody talked about, but he's very much good as well. Okay, he's coming back. He's still an underclassman, as a matter of fact. We got a route runner out of Florida who nobody knows about named Justin Smith-Brown, who's been making a lot of great athletic catches. I'm talking about toe drag swag. All right, you're going to see him. We still got Richard Bailey from the Celebration Bowl, the one who caught that touchdown on Nugget.
Right.
Corner of the end zone. He's back. You see what I'm saying? So we got pieces. We don't have a Shaq. But we still got good enough pieces after. Like, we got weapons at the receiver position. As far as the young talent, it's so much young talent on this team. That's the question. Redshirt freshmen who are going to be stars at some point. It's just a matter of when. It's just a matter of when they can show you it. So if they can show it to us this season, great. You know, if not, they're gonna have to develop sometime down the road. But as for right now, man, we got pieces. You can't replace the Shaq. It's not easy to do.
Yeah, because like, dude, I other than I'm gonna say freakish wide receivers in college, other than like Randy Moss, Calvin Johnson, I ain't never seen no dude like that since those two right there. Hey. In my opinion, in my humble opinion, I ain't never seen no two like those two. That dude just like that. Now you got, I think so. First game of the season, first couple of games of the season. I know y'all gonna depend on the run. You know, I know you was telling me about one of the running backs, Tyler Smith, from Gaffney, right?
From Gaffney, yep.
Yeah, Gaffney, South Carolina. You said some other guys that was that's going to be toting the rock along with him. So this is going to be a running back by committee. Who are the other 2 or 3 running backs that y'all have on the squad?
All right, so Tyler Smith leads that run. He's the star. He's gonna show you flashes that just gonna make you go. It's just gonna make you go, wow, right? So he's number 1. Number 2 behind him is Josh Shaw, a guy named Josh Shaw. His running style reminds me of Mike Davis from the Gamecocks mixed with a little bit of Frank Gore, right? It's hard to bring down. One person will not bring down Josh Shaw. Okay, they nickname him Turbo. He's the power guy to Tyler Smith's speed. After that, it's freshmen. It's redshirt freshmen, true freshmen. A kid named Jawarren Howard out of North Carolina. The only reason why he even playing college ball is because an opponent in high school, an opponent's coach, said you too good not to be playing at the next level. And he reached out to Buddy Pugh, and we offered him that scholarship. That kid is going to put a lot of people on the map. He's already big coming out of high school. The boy look at least like he's a sophomore already, all right, as far as muscle mass goes, okay? He's got the speed, hits the hole really good, but he's 6'1", over 200 pounds, okay? So it's just, as a freshman, you feel me? So he's hard to bring down, but that's, right now, it's Tyler Smith, Josh Shaw. Those are the main 2 you're going to see rotating carries.
Man,
Toby, let me ask Cobi. I got 2 questions. Number 1, how many freshmen did South Carolina State take in this August, and how much money is South Carolina State spending on athletics?
So, as far as the freshman goes, overall, probably like in the 20s. I don't know the exact number, but I know we brought in much more on offense than we did.
Oh, I'm saying for the school. I'm sorry. For how many did the school bring in?
Oh, I'm not. What was it? 2,000? Anywhere between.
Y'all brought 2,000 freshmen?
Shoot, what's called just had they got a class.
I know.
Wait a minute. South Carolina State brought in 2,000 freshmen?
We just set a record for the amount of freshmen that we brought in.
Whoa! So so we're talking about South Carolina State will have what, about 5,000 or 6,000?
I'm not sure on the exact number. I know I read the article and I saw Miss Campbell on Twitter, our AD. She said this is the most amount of freshmen that we've had in a long time who's coming on campus. So I know that. As far as the money, when it comes to athletics, y'all know we have one of the lowest budgets in NCAA. So I don't know how much that's changed, right? But I know we can't do much. Normally we can't do much because of how the budget is set up already, which is why, which is what forces us to recruit the way that we do in South Carolina and in border states like North Carolina and Georgia.
Enjoy, right? Okay, but now South Carolina State always did recruit Florida. Are you still doing that?
Yeah, they still in Florida. That's where Justice
Yeah, you
Brown came
always
from.
was in Florida, especially Miami and Jacksonville. I know that was Jeffries and Buddy Pugh. They both lived off of Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Man, so I tell people this. For all my Jackson State fans, do not worry, do not fret. We will know who our quarterback is before the game starts. And the reason why I say that is because TC ain't telling nothing. TC is closed, is tight-lipped, closed mouth. Like he ain't saying nothing until either the night before the game or a couple of hours before the game start. So
but we can bet it's the Brown kid, right?
I'm willing to put money on it being Brown.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be the Brown kid.
Yeah, because like I said, his dad is in here. Jason is not going to a spot where he's about to be holding a clipboard the whole time.
I don't think so either.
Because he got this is his last hurrah. Now, barring injury or anything else that happens, I think he should be the starter. Now, TC also put in there is that once whoever he names as the starter, they would be the starter for the whole season. It won't be a QB carousel. It won't be any type of flip-flopping now, but this is TC we talking about. I think he's planning to, utilize some of his weapons as quarterback in certain packages with Coach Harris. And I just feel like, to me, on the real, Jason Brown is going to be the starter.
Yeah, I think I agree with you.
Jason Brown will be the starter. I'm gonna be real honest with y'all. The backup would be Jacoby and Morgan.
Yeah, I've been reading some things those people from Syracuse have said about him. They say he's a baller.
He is a baller.
Yeah, they say that kid is a baller.
Syracuse has only had six freshmen to start at quarterback for their program. One of them was Jacoby and Morgan. I don't care what you say. You got to be good enough to be one of only six true freshman quarterbacks to start for a Power 5 program.
Right.
So why is Brown ahead of him, in your opinion?
What was the question? What'd you say?
Why is Brown ahead of him? Just because he's a senior?
It's probably experience, isn't it?
It's the experience, because like you got to realize. I'm gonna tell you this, Bryant. He was, when he was at St. Francis, he was an FCS All-American because he threw over 3,000 yards. He had 28 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. So he had he had really good numbers as St. Francis. Then he transferred to South Carolina, and what he did in the absence of, I think, was it Spencer Rattler was on that squad? What was it, before Spencer got there, or was it after?
I was thinking it was before Spencer, wasn't it?
I think it's before Spencer.
Okay,
because he eventually went to Virginia Tech.
Right. So, but in those games that he started for South Carolina, beat Florida. He beat a couple of teams. It
was very impressive too.
It was very impressive. Yeah. And then get to Virginia Tech. He didn't play at Virginia Tech because I think he had the injury at VTech, but he ends up going to getting the call to come to Jackson State. And I just feel like he is the most, other than Jacobian, but out of all of them, he is the most ready to play.
I mean,
and he's got age on it. How old is he? He's got age. He's got maturity.
Exactly. He's got the experience.
I think he's like 25.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's got no child.
He's got the arm. And plus, this is last year. It's really
right.
Great.
Yeah.
You got Jacobian for a couple more years.
Yeah, you got Jacoby for a couple more years. You still got Grayson. You know what I'm saying? Just in case something happened, you still got Grayson. You got Zy McDonald, where you can actually use him with certain packages. And then you got Phillip Short. And Phillip Short is the odd man out because I think of it, the throw mechanics. And he's a little bit erratic. So I think having him come in and letting him redshirt and developing him to where he will be like later on down the line, he could be the starter for the team. It all depends. But with the transfer portal era coming, being here, kids feel like they're not gonna get the chance to play, they'll go somewhere else.
Go.
Well, with all this alignment going on, we getting ready to get a lot of kids into the SWAC and the MEAC. Because I'm going to tell you something, they ain't going to find it too great flying from Penn State to UCLA one week, and then the next week you got to fly back out to Southern Cal. Let me tell you something, we're going to get a lot of transfers coming to the SWAC and the MEAC.
What you about to say, Brian?
I was going to say, because I was listening to Cobi's, and I think you had Grayson fourth and Short fifth, or vice versa, the 5 quarterbacks for JSU.
Yeah, I had him. I would put him above Phillip. From what I've seen, I would like Grayson really deserves a shot. I'm not saying he didn't get a fair shot.
He should be transferred.
The progression of him, he deserves to play somewhere. And if I'm being honest, I would put him ahead of Phillip. That's just me.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put him last or anything like that. And if he decides to transfer, I think he got like a year left so he could graduate or something like that. I don't know.
I wish him the best, man. I really do. I really do wish him the best.
But we're not saying that he's leaving, so we're not speculating that he's leaving. So I don't want nobody to get on my head talking about you said that Grayson leaving out of the program. No, we just saying it's a what if. It's a what if this happened. But man,
you like to see him get his opportunity, I believe Cobi was saying.
Yeah.
I think he deserves an opportunity to play somewhere. I just don't think it'll be Jackson State.
Yep, and then whatever TC bring in next season, it all depends on what he brings in next season too. So now everybody's talking about. Look, we talk about where we lost pretty much majority of our roster. I think I was listening to Coach Walker on his show earlier, and he was saying that I think we only had like 12 players return on the team, and it's scattered between offense and defense. But I just feel like even with those 12 players and whatever TC brought in and what he kept in after pretty much right before fall camp started, I think they'll gel. I think they will be able to go out there and play play for each other. But I just put it like this. People gonna say, look, y'all lost a lot. Y'all gonna be trash. Cause this is all I'm hearing. Y'all gonna be trash. Y'all don't know who your quarterback is. Your defense ain't there. Prime, basically the main thing is Prime ain't there. It don't really matter if Prime was there or not, because I just feel like the team was better. He didn't really have to coach. All you got to do is put the game in the hands of your players and your coordinators that you have. Mm-hmm. And if they can't get it done, then he know what to do. He got to go with that portal. He got to go and find people that's going to be able to get the job done. And I feel like that's what TC is doing too. Like
I think Jackson State did a phenomenal job of recruiting. They really did. You know what I mean? They could have had their heads down, after the prime effect and stuff like that. But I think they've done a phenomenal job. Their backfield is it's pretty deep. I've seen the spring game. They got some ballers. Some guys. And you know what? They got something to prove. They really got something to prove this year. It's, when somebody leaves, have a great quarterback or a great player leaves and somebody comes in, they're always looking at the expectations of that person or player or team. So I think that their theme is guard the yard, and I think TC is going to be a phenomenal coach. I think he is a phenomenal coach. I just think, just do what they got to do. Play their game, and I think they'll be successful, very successful.
So, and the thing about this too is that people will say, well, y'all don't know what y'all gonna get. TC ain't never coached a game, a live football game up other than being a coordinator. But everybody got to realize too, Prime was in the same. He was in the same situation.
Literally, like
literally,
y'all didn't know what y'all was gonna get.
We didn't know what we didn't know what we gonna do. We didn't know what right. We didn't know what we were gonna do. We didn't know what we had. We didn't know how these coaches were gonna be. The only coach that I knew that had some sort of experience within the NFL and college was Dennis Thurman. I didn't know nothing about Mike Markinson. I didn't know nothing about Michael Pollard. I didn't know nothing about only Alan Ricard, even though I only knew about him his playing days.
Ricard for Seattle.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about Coach Hart other than what we saw. He was at Trinity Christian because he was the de facto head coach at Trinity Christian.
How many of y'all knew James Houston was going to be what he was when he first committed?
Nobody.
With his less than 20 career tackles at Florida. How many people knew what James Houston was going to be?
Nobody. I didn't know what James was going to be. I knew what Shador was going to be because we seen it.
Right.
You seen it on overtime, the little series and everything. You seen that. You saw a little glimpse of what Shiloh was going to be. You saw most of those players that like Cam Simmons, Craig. You saw what they were going to be because you seen it before. I didn't see what a Nugget was going to be like. I didn't see what a Shane Hooks or Malachi Wideman when he was there, or even a Peyton Pickett I've seen Peyton Pickett when he was in high school, but like a Savion Wilkerson, we didn't see none of that stuff. We see like last season, we see everybody on the team. I think most of everybody on the team, even Travis Hunter, because we saw him what he can do, what they can do in a live game. But like I said, it's an unknown. Like Deion was coming in from high school. Literally, he was coming in from high school. The man was a high school offensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. He was not a head coach. He was a head coach in the high school ranks for a little bit, but it was a de facto, gave him the de facto head coach job, but he really wasn't running the show at that time. But when he gets to Jackson State, you didn't know.
The thing that he did have on his side was Deion's a celebrity. He was one of the biggest marketing products in America. And I'm going to be honest with you. He overpowered the SWAC with his celebrity. That's why he was able to attract those big-time players. But one of the things that Coach Pugh improved in that first Celebration Bowl, when it came to be a head coach in a big-time championship game, he was a novice. And that's Pugh improved that in that first Celebration Bowl that Jackson went to. But the thing that he did to the SWAC, he overpowered the SWAC with his celebrity. Okay, the fact that he had his own show, we really had that. Probably the only one we had like that probably was Eddie Robinson back in the 70s when they had the Eddie Robinson show. But like I said, it's his celebrity. You got to understand about us as a people. A lot of people don't want to admit it. We worship black celebrities. We worship black celebrities, and that was a major advantage for Deion when he got to Jackson.
Yeah, I think you're right in one regard, though, Mr. Ford. But you know what? Deion probably arguably the best cornerback that ever played the game, and probably top 3 players that ever played the game. So if you're a defensive back, why wouldn't you want to go to a guy that's the quote unquote GOAT? As far as like that. Did he get out coached in the game against South Carolina the first time? 100% yes. I think the team was more excited to be there than to really do what they were needed to do, and they definitely got out coached. But the thing is, with the Deion, I think we should just move on from that. You know what I mean? I'm always going to be a Deion fan, to be honest with you. I'm always going to be a Deion fan. But the thing is,
I'm just looking at it from a sociological perspective as to what he did when he came. Like we said, he had never been a college coach, but the thing that you got to deal with was that Deion was a celebrity.
Yeah, but
we follow celebrities.
That's true.
That's true, but we can also make the same point. You get a guy that plays. Well, I know I'm switching sports, or a guy that plays basketball that's being a color commentator. All of a sudden, he's a head coach. Never has experience, but he's a head coach. But he might have played the game for many years. He might have analyzed the game for many years. So Deion, Even though he was in high school, he was doing Under Armour for many years. He was, had many camps, so on and so forth. So for him not to be able to quote unquote coach the way that we might seem fit, I think it's a little bit unreasonable for the simple fact you know the game. You are expert in the game. But maybe his strong suit is not X's and O's. Is obviously he's one of the best motivators that we've seen. And the thing is, like you said, he is a celebrity, so there's a lot of hype and a lot of hype behind that. But to say that he wasn't qualified to coach, or
No, I'm
you know
not
what I
saying
mean,
he wasn't qualified.
I'm not
I'm
saying
just,
you are. I'm not
yeah,
saying.
yeah,
I'm
I'm
not
not
saying
saying
you
that.
are. I'm
Yeah,
not saying you are. But if we
It's the
speculate that,
naysayers.
yes. But the thing is, it is what it is. That at the end of the line, it is what it is. But the thing is, you're 100% right because people wanted to be at Jackson State. Why? Because Deion was there.
yeah.
But yeah, now we got, but like I said, we got a whole new roster again because this is the third year in a row. We done had a whole new roster turnover. Like I said, now this is we're going into a new era with a new QB, a new head coach, offensive, defensive coordinator. Everybody that's on, as far as coaching is new on this team. Everybody, as far as a player, is new on this team. Um, I'm really gonna be excited. I'm getting excited to see what Maurice Harris puts out there as far as what his offense is gonna be. And for those naysayers that say that he didn't call plays at Liberty,
Like, okay, I ain't even gonna
that's lame, dog.
I ain't even
Just,
gonna
just. I'm just gonna let you make it, but I just want to see how the defense is gonna be a new, with this new defense coordinator, Jonathan Bradley. I want to see how the offensive line gonna be because that was the real big issue that we had for the last 2 years was the offensive line play. It got better last season because we was better at run blocking, and I think I don't know if we did not like being, going into pass blocking, but I think we were more better at run blocking than we was at pass blocking. We shall see.
Well, you got
What's up.
better on the offensive line because you got better personnel. You brought in when you got rid of Dunbar and what's that other kid was from Central Florida, the kid that couldn't touch the field.
Tony Gray.
Tony Gray, when you got rid of them people and you brought in that Bro kid and you brought in Evan Henry and you brought them tackles in, you got better personnel wise. That was the most important thing with that. You got better offensive linemen. Now, as far as the coaching, I thought the coaching was terrible. I thought the weakest part of Deion's staff was the offensive line coach.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Is Max Gibbs still there?
I haven't seen. I've been looking at I've been trying to look at the depth chart.
I wonder.
Because if he's still there, I think that would be great because he adds depth to it.
But every college team, or most weakness is the offensive line. Everybody's always looking for great depth on the offensive line. Every college in FCS, FBS, you always hear, I wish I had more depth on that offensive line.
But he also, but that's the best thing that TC did because that was the first thing that he hit the ground running was to get the trenches, the offensive line, because defense was pretty much, it was going to be easier for him to get defense, but it was harder for him to get the offensive lineman to come in because basically the type of the style of offense we were going to run. And I just want to see how it is. I just want to see what it's going to be. And then too, like he's not stopping now because 2024 we got a couple of offensive linemen that committed to us. Got a quarterback that committed to us. We got a couple of receivers that are committed as always. So it should be something that he can build on as far as for the future, and basically what he's doing for now. The defensive line is, I don't think is better, but I don't think it's much better, but I think it's
deeper. The defensive line is deeper.
It's deeper.
They got, because they that's one of the reasons they lost that Celebration Bowl. When all them kids ran to that transfer portal and they played them people out of position, North Carolina Central's offensive line wore that defensive line out. Now, he's deeper this year. Now, that's one thing that TC and them did learn from that Celebration Bowl. You got to be at least 12 to 15 deep in that defensive line, and that's what they are.
I will say, I still think Deion not letting Niles Gaddy played a huge part in that game.
Oh my God!
I agree with you too.
Huge part.
Yeah.
So I still don't like that he did like that. That bothers me.
That irritated me.
Bothered me. And finding out the reason why he wasn't able to play, I don't even know if people know. I ain't gonna be the one to say it, but it was petty. Like that. That whole thing bothered me. Like that was
like he was like I think he was a couple of minutes late to a team meeting, and they didn't. He's like, well, he got
somebody told him to put his bag on the bus, and it wasn't time for that. And he got to the meeting a couple minutes later, something.
Yeah.
And well, I mean, we're going to have to go ahead and admit it. After Deion won that SWAC championship, he basically exploded Jackson State's program. He didn't give a damn about them. Once he announced that he was going to Colorado, it was the hell with Jackson. We might as well go and acknowledge that. Don't acknowledge it. He blew that program up.
I like I said, I'm a Deion fan, but I didn't like him announcing before this. You know what I mean? Complete your season, everything before you announce you had to go. I know they said there was different logistics that had to be done, how to announcing this, that. But like I said, I don't know the inside scoop, but I disagree with that because you kind of stole you kind of robbed the kids of their true glory, in my opinion.
Yeah, he spooked them kids, and all of them did the wrong thing.
Man, listen,
one thing about college kids, they need guidance. And when he did what he did, them kids did what kids do. They did the wrong thing. He spooked them. He deserted them kids.
They definitely, Guys, how many kids left, Cobi, for the celebration? Was it 8 or 9 defensive players, or more than that?
Say it again.
It was like 6.
How many players left that transferred out right away? Not even going to the Celebration Bowl? That were rotational players?
I think it was like 6. Yeah. It was like 6 on the defensive line. Plus, you had one. I mean, you had one that was injured in True Thompson. Niles Gaddy being suspended, and then the rest of them enter into the transfer portal. So it made a whole mockery of the thing where it should have been a better, like that game right there. Yeah, should have been better last season.
It's so sad. Like seeing the progression of Niles Gaddy from his first year with Jackson State to that second year was such a major difference. So the fact that you don't play this man, if you want to suspend him for a drive or a quarter, I still would have thought it was stupid, but at least you would have got to play. But for the whole game, somebody should have stopped that. It was his last game anyway. Somebody should have vetoed that. Somebody should have vetoed that. You out of bounds.
Yeah, but like
that is bad as Belichick not playing Malcolm Butler.
Right.
In the Super Bowl.
Now, so yeah, we let people in the chat like let's move on for Deion. Oh well, but he got his own thing to worry about. September 2nd is slowly approaching for him, and he got the whole state of Texas worried about.
Let the slaughter begin.
But man, look, you got defensive line is stout. Of course, the mainstay is the 2 defensive tackles, Devontae Davis and Jeremiah Williams. You got an edge rusher in Antonio Doyle that's coming back, and then you pretty much True Thompson's come back from injury. You brought back Corners Miller. We brought back Corners Miller out of the portal. Then everybody else is brand new. Everybody else is brand new. Phillip Webb is one of the players that I've been hearing about that is making waves.
He ain't had no other choice. Coming in with your caliber, you ain't had no other choice, man. You was one of the top prospects in the nation. We expected this of him.
I'm like looking like, you know what? I think TC had made the right choice for this kid to come up to Jackson. You know, all these kids that were at other programs or that was in high school, they come in. Really, I know they're coming to play for TC. There's no if and the but about it. But I know they want to play for that school, for the school too. And also, I feel like they want to play because they want to get that bad taste. We want to get that bad taste out of our mouth. 2 Celebration Bowl losses. You know what I'm saying? Like that first one that first Celebration Bowl against South Carolina State was a beatdown. that was a quintessential. That was a quintessential. I told you stop doing that shit before. now, I done told you before you gonna make. Buddy Pugh took his belt off and whooped our team like we stole something. Like literally.
He's a veteran coach.
He's a veteran coach.
Last
season is like it seemed like Trey Oliver, Coach Trey was like coaching with his middle finger up in front of our face. Like literally, we got out coached. Like and he had the right to talk all the noise that he wanted to talk. You know,
well, both of them felt like they were disrespected. The first year, Buddy felt like he was disrespected, and then Trey, acknowledged it over and over. He felt like his program was disrespected, and both of them took it to heart, and they made sure that them players knew it.
A lot of that, not all of it, but a lot of that is really on the media. And like if I'm Jackson State, if I'm getting this attention, it is what it is. Like, I'm sorry you not. But like it ain't me disrespecting you. It's just people they ain't talking to y'all, they talking to me. You know, for some of it. Now on the other hand, some people were talking a little bit out their mouth, and I kind of added on to it.
Yeah. So,
but the thing is also in between the SWAC championship and the Celebration Bowl, guys. Let's be honest. The MEAC has what 5 weeks to prepare.
Yeah, usually from November 19th until the game is December the 18th,
16th.
16th. Yeah, you're right. They get about 3 to 4 weeks off.
So you can implement, obviously trick plays, special plays, things that haven't been on film and stuff like that. You can prepare a little bit differently. You obviously they can rest before they have to ramp it back up. There's pros and cons in doing that, and both of that. But the thing is, I think last year Deion cheated the kids by announcing what he did announce and everybody leaving.
I agree with you, totally.
If they had a full complement of players, exception of injuries, they would have beat North Carolina.
The game.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with that.
Not being close like that, like literally. Yeah. But I'm
but hold on one sec. But the thing is also what Deion, for me, showed some of his coaching inexperience, like you guys are saying. When they had a chance to tie the game up, I wouldn't have went for the 1. I would have went for the 2. If we're going to lose, let's go for the 2.
I'm gonna say it like this, and I'm gonna give Central its respect. They beat us in the first half of that game. They beat the brakes off of us. Offensively, defensively, special team, they beat us. They dominated us in that first half. That second half was a whole, was a whole 180. We came out there. We was ready to play, and to me, I just feel like we should not have wait a whole half to say we're going to be ready to play. No, you got to play all 4. You got to be out there to go out there to play all 4 quarters. And you know what I'm saying, from the time that clock start in the first quarter until it ends in the fourth quarter, you're supposed to go out there and play all, for the whole game. Don't be like, well, we got beat. We got beat in the first half. Like, cause in a sense, I had just started, like, I was looking at it and I really wanted to turn it off. I really wanted to watch the state championship games here in Dallas. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just keep it on.
Yeah, but let's put everything in perspective here for a second. Your points are 100% valid, but the thing is this: when these are young men. Let's first and foremost remember these are young men, and you know what? When you're with your so-called brothers for the whole year, and you're doing something great, they're undefeated season. Every team was, had targets on their back. Then all of a sudden you hear that your coach is leaving. Then all of a sudden players jumped in the portal. Then one of your best players is sitting out a game because he's a couple minutes late. That deflates the team. I don't care, the mental aspect of the game, but that deflates the game. I know when I played, I know I didn't play football, I played professional hockey. Certain things happen. You can say, oh, yes, you got to keep your focus, which is true. But the thing is, young people are from 18 to 23 don't handle the same way, now that I'm older, 63 years old, don't handle the same way as a more mature adult. Because it was something that you grasp, you preach all year about winning, you preach all year about dominating, and all of a sudden you let us down. You let us down because of your, you know what I mean? Even when he kept it a buck, he's saying, okay, we're going here. Good for him. I'm happy for him, his decision. But his timing was terrible, in my opinion.
Deion was a dead big dad. He skipped out on them kids.
Somebody quote that right there. Man, I ain't never heard nothing like that. But man, look, it is what it is. I think we got the team, but our first 4 games are brutal, y'all. Our first 4 games are brutal. Start off with South Carolina State and Atlanta. Then we travel to Miami to play FAMU, aka the what we call the Self-Inflicted Bowl, aka what we call the Blue Blossom Classic. And then we go to that little school down there in Baton Rouge and play Southern. And then last but not least, we got Texas State and San Marcos.
Let me ask this question. I heard this week. Now, is this true that Dooley is the highest paid coach in the SWAC?
I don't even know.
Is that true, Cobi?
I feel like
that's awful. If he is,
like Dooley would be.
That's what I heard this week. Said he's the highest paid coach in the SWAC.
He might be, man.
Not a promise going yet.
Is it true?
I don't know if it's true, but I'm willing to bet it is.
That's awful.
Hey, Mr. Gucci up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's awful.
But shout out to Texas State for moving the game from I think 7 o'clock to 8:30.
Love it. Love that.
Thank you. Because I told y'all around 7 o'clock, it's still gonna be 100 degrees outside.
Yeah, that's true.
It's still gonna be 100 degrees outside. So look, I'm glad that they did move the game to 8:30. It's still gonna be streamed on ESPN Plus. Make sure everybody get themselves out there. There is a bus if you are in the Dallas area. The alumni chapter, the Dallas alumni chapter, will sponsor a bus. The last day for payment is on the 28th of this month. So that basically will get you to the game, and then immediately after the game, they are rolling back to Dallas.
So how far is that from Dallas?
About 4 hours.
Whoa. So that's down by what? Is that San Antonio?
So it's between Austin and San Antonio.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right there. It's right on 35. And I tell people, we was talking about this the other night. San Marcos got I told them Texas State, it's about 35,000 kids that go there. Nice campus, beautiful campus, big, you know what I'm saying? Got good space and everything. They got the river, the San Marcos River, which is like a clear spring river.
Now that's Sun Belt. That's Sun Belt
Yeah,
Conference.
that's Sunbelt. That's Sunbelt. You see all the little kids rolling down in the tubes down the river and stuff like that. And after that, you know what I'm saying, before that, we're gonna go up there to that little stadium and try to whoop on these Bobcats. But they also got, they got this nice outlet mall out there. Big as hell. I think it's like about 2.5 football fields long. Nice outlet mall. And if you're going into the San Antonio area, of course you got the Riverwalk and everything else, Alamo. You're going into Austin area, you got 6th Street. Just don't get, if you go to Austin, just don't get caught if the Longhorns are having a football game that night, because that traffic is ridiculous. Because their stadium sits right off of 35.
Now, Cobi, let me ask you this. Off the top of your head, do you think Central's going to repeat and come back to the Celebration Bowl?
Do I think who?
Central.
North Carolina Central. Are they going to repeat as a MEAC champions and come back to the Celebration Bowl?
If I'm being honest with you, we ain't seen a MEAC champion repeat since North Carolina A&T. The MEAC is a gauntlet. Like, that's what people don't understand. So although North Carolina Central has a great shot to do it, don't get me wrong. Davius Richards, Mookie Colley, that's a dangerous combination. They ain't beat us in like what, three in the last 3 meetings?
Who is that?
Somebody could upset North Carolina Central and prevent them from getting back. Morgan State got one of the best secondaries you've seen in a long time. Like, one of the best secondaries of HBCU football. Howard wants that get back because they felt like they should have been there. They ain't beat us in the last 3 meetings. So, like, it's not a given for North Carolina Central to make it back. Somebody can upset them.
Well, the reason I ask you that question, because that's what I got. I got Jackson and North Carolina Central, round 2, in a rematch. I think it's Ali Frazier, and I think both of them are coming back.
And listen, I don't think that's crazy for you to have that, because again, they have a great chance. That duo that they have, running back and quarterback, is phenomenal. But anything can happen. Like, it ain't given to them. Like, it ain't gonna be a cakewalk for them in the MEAC. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
That's just how it goes in the MEAC. They can easily slip up.
So do you think that it'll come down to South Carolina State and Central, or will it come down to Central and Howard?
Here's the thing. Anytime we play North Carolina Central, it's a close game. Like, we barely edge it out by like 3 points or like 6 at the most. Even though I think we're going to get the win again, I think it might be between them and Howard.
For the championship.
Yeah.
Man, that would be a nice, and then too, Central goes up to Howard this year. And Howard, Central left a bad taste in Howard's mouth last season because they, beating them by 30.
Howard is mad.
Yeah,
they are mad. They don't like it.
Oh yeah, I think I misread the. Let me correct myself. The time they moved, because the game was supposed to be at 6 o'clock, they moved to 7:30. I think they should just move to 8 o'clock, be all the way through. But they moved the game to 7:30. If you stand in the Austin area, my boy Player Circle said that the Longhorns are playing the Wyoming Cowboys that same weekend at 7 o'clock. It's going to be crazy. Do not get caught in that traffic. Coach Simmons done invited everybody who's going to be in the Austin area on Friday night to go check out Reagan versus LBJ on the east side, which is going to be a good game. I seen that video he did, man, and I did not know Latrell McCutcheon is like a senior in high school. And if you don't know who Latrell McCutcheon is, go watch Friday Night Tykes. Go watch that. Go watch that documentary. It's on Netflix. He was the one that played for the Ducks out of the San Antonio area. So yeah, go watch that. but I think he got an offer to go to. I think he said he was supposed to have an offer to go to Alabama as an athlete. I want to see that though. But
wait a minute, he's gonna leave Texas to go. He's not gonna go to Texas, Texas Tech, Baylor, none of them schools. He gonna leave and go to Alabama.
Shoot.
If
All them
the
schools y'all got in Texas.
if the NIL money's right, that's where they go now.
But the NIL money should be with Texas and Texas A&M. There's more millionaires
100%.
at them schools than any other university in the country.
You got that right.
That's what I'm saying. He gonna leave Texas with all them schools out there and go to Alabama. When it comes to money, Alabama cannot stand up to A&M. Alabama can't stand up to the Longhorns. Nick Saban told you that about 2 years ago. That's why he was on that line about Jackson State gave Travis Hunter $1 million. Then he was talking about Texas A&M money.
Oh, I remember that from last summer. Boy.
Yeah.
That was a funny time last summer. I don't know, but I know Texas played Alabama this season again in Tuscaloosa.
That's in Alabama?
Yep, in Tuscaloosa.
Well, usually them assistants can't beat. I take that back. Kirby has beat him, but usually if you were assistant under Nick Saban, you can't beat him. His assistants usually can't beat him.
But yeah, it's a lot of things. They get back to the game at hand. So now you got the defensive backfield for Jackson State. I think is much improved. You still got your stalwarts at corners with K5 and Jalen Hughes. You got the newcomer coming in from Delaware State, which he really ain't a newcomer to me. You know what I'm saying? All world, baller. It says Guthrie. And if you had never seen Sayers play, watch the film from 2019 when they played South Carolina State, and he was going up against Shaq Davis.
Ooh, that'd been a battle there, boy.
He going up. He went up against Shaq Davis. They was battling. They battled the whole game. And he wasn't playing safety. He was playing corner.
Well, you know what? That brings me to something else. I got to ask you this, Cobi. In your opinion, do you think it's best that the MEAC and the SWAC combine?
I knew they were gonna come.
Yeah, you know it's coming. Because I'm for that. Now, what you say about it, Cobi?
The MEAC and the SWAC combined?
Combining, yeah.
And
MEAC and the SWAC combining.
And how would that work for postseason play? Like, what's
We still, like I always tell people, let's look at the model of the AFC. I mean, when the AFL and the NFL merged, remember? We look at that, use that model. We still had a Celebration Bowl. We would have those teams on the East against the teams in the West. And then the champion comes out and play for the Black College Championship. But I'm looking at it from a financial standpoint. I still say I think we're wasting time by not combining the MEAC and the SWAC. I want to hear your opinion on that, Cobi.
I actually like your idea on that. I really do, because it doesn't seem like the MEAC is in any hurry or any rush to save themselves from potential collapse. I mean, we still ain't hearing nothing about what they want to add to the conference. If that's the case,
well, let me say this. I did hear now, from what I've been told, they're actually asking Benedict to join, and then I've heard some other schools are interested too. I did hear that.
Is Benedict interested?
I don't know. I don't know if they want to make that step.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know how.
I don't know.
That would be for them.
But I know that there is a pursuit of Benedict. They, with Benedict being in Columbia, major city, capital city of South Carolina, nice facilities. Mm-hmm. Okay, they are being pursued. I'm still hearing that the MEAC is talking at Virginia State. Okay, and there's a couple other schools I've heard they are talking to. For some reason, I don't know why, I'm hearing that they're talking at Morehouse.
The thing, when they asking these schools, I hope they are sure that these schools that they're trying to bring up for Division II can maintain that Division I status.
That's right. I agree with you.
That's my biggest concern.
Now I'm gonna say this: schools like Howard, Delaware State, Morgan State, I think they leave out of the MEAC. They leave out because they don't want to make that. They don't want to make that travel. To me,
listen, how soon you think they leave? You think after this year they leave, or down the road, 2 years from now?
I can't even predict it, but because of the simple fact how college football with realignment has been going for like the last couple of years, it's crazy because you got just basically in the FCS, you got conferences joining up together, you know what I'm saying, making a challenge and then forming a whole, I wouldn't call it a super conference, but just one whole conference where it really is going to stretch from one end to all the way to like Utah.
Right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
In which that's going to be a logistical nightmare because a school that's in, I would say like a school like, I think Eastern Kentucky is in this United Athletic Conference, if I'm not mistaken. A school like Eastern Kentucky going all the way to Utah to play Utah Valley or Utah Tech does not fit in their travel plans right there. It's already hard for our FCS schools to go play other schools like in the FBS, like say North Carolina City going all the way to play UCLA in the next couple of weeks.
Well, that brings another question to you, Cobi. And I'm gonna tell you why I'm saying this, because I don't think it's gonna ever work. Do you think that can you see Hampton winning a CAA championship in football, and can you see North Carolina A&T winning a CAA championship? Because I don't see it. Do you see it, Cobi?
I think North Carolina Central will be a lot closer than Hampton will ever be.
Not Central. I mean North Carolina A&T. I'm sorry.
A&T. North Carolina A&T will be a lot closer than Hampton will ever be. No, I don't see Hampton winning it. I know.
Ever winning the CAA.
No disrespect to them.
And do you ever see Tennessee State being successful in this OVC, which they are now admitting that they got to get out of the OVC, because that was the word this summer from the administration, is that Tennessee State is now looking for somewhere to go because they got to get out of the OVC. The OVC ain't doing it for them no more.
I never liked that move to begin with. Like, you just come back. Like, come back here. That's what I always thought.
But they was never a part of a conference though. They were
independent. Yeah, under Big John, they were independent.
Yeah, they was independent before they even went to the OVC. So really, the one that makes sense for you for Tennessee State would be to go to the SWAC. Now, if you bring in Tennessee State, you got to bring somebody else in, huh?
I say y'all want everybody, man.
But that's the most. It
would be a natural progression, just like Tennessee Volunteers in the SEC. Tennessee State should be in the SWAC, and I mean geographically.
It makes sense geographically.
Yeah, geographically it makes sense. They come down and play Alabama State, Alabama A&M. They come down and play Florida A&M, Bethune-Cookman. They come down and play Jackson State. They come down and play Grambling and Southern. Isn't that natural?
Wouldn't it be also a great opportunity for a new television contract as a realignment?
I'm sorry, what you saying?
Wouldn't it be a great opportunity if it was a realignment? Because a lot of teams are doing a realignment because they're getting the bag. We all know this. Wouldn't it be a great opportunity for the SWAC, for everything that's happened over the last 2 years, with not let's say the uprising, but for the attention that's been on the SWAC to, to try to get a better television contract if you bring in a Tennessee State, if the MEAC and they merge with the SWAC. It would be a great opportunity for those conferences as they merge to not only form an alliance, but to have to look for a better television deal. Because right now it's hot. It's still hot. You got to strike while it's hot before it cools down. You know what I mean? Everybody forgets what happened in the last 2 previous years, 2.5 years, 3 years.
And I agree with what Cobi said. Even without those teams, when you look at the SWAC going from Texas to Florida, that's a super conference. That's a super conference. You all the way from Texas to Florida, that's a super conference.
And to me, I'm gonna put it just like this, and I'm gonna go to the next segment. With the way college football is looking right now, all those G5 schools, the G5 conferences that we got, the MEAC, the AAC, the Sun Belt, Conference USA, the Mountain West. Am I missing one? Am I missing one? But all these schools, all these conferences, to me, like literally are about to be on that back burner.
That's right. And you're absolutely right. You're right. Because the ESPN has told them people they can't carry them no more. Okay? And so you're going to see people in the FCS and the FBS go bankrupt. You're going in the next 3 to 5 years, you're going to see schools that you've been looking at give up football. You know why? Because all of them in debt. And you know what they're living off of? ESPN. And ESPN has told them they can't carry them no more.
That's the reason why you don't see a school like North Dakota State or South Dakota State or, or like a Sac State or, schools like that, Montana State. They ain't worried about moving up. They're not worried about moving up to FBS. Why? Because
it doesn't make sense for some.
It doesn't make sense for some of them to do it. Like North Dakota State. If North Dakota State was to move up, who would they be? What conference would they join? First of all,
MEAC.
Does it make the MEAC better, or is it basically, would it be, well, they here and
they would be there. They would be a power now. Because let me tell you something. I saw North Dakota State go in, I think it was Kansas State or Kansas they beat. Oh, they look good. They are definitely a big fish in a little pond by being in the FCS.
But it's like, to me, when I give an example, when Marshall jumped up from FCS and they went into the MAC conference,
right?
Did it make the whole conference better, or did it just like add like, well, Marshall here, it's still the same to me. And that's what I'm saying. Like, most of these schools ain't trying to move up. They're not trying to move up
because they smart. They smart.
So like, but what I'm saying now is that all these schools, the G5 schools,
they in trouble.
They in trouble. Like, like if you want to form your own super conference, or just start on your, try to get into that bag as far as with the Power 3, because that's all it is. It's Power 3.
That's it.
I'm gonna put it just like this. If we were playing spades, y'all, it would be 3 of the possible. That possible is the ACC.
And they don't know what right now.
They don't know what the hell they want to do.
Yeah.
So it's either the Big 10, the Big 12, or the SEC. That's who getting the money. That's who getting the bag. All these other schools are going to be moved. They're going to be relegated to move back down to FCS, which is going to make, I feel like it's going to make FCS, I don't know, watered down, but
you see, with new things coming out like Prime streaming and stuff like that, there's going to be other revenue streams for football. ESPN, we all know what ESPN is just. They're firing people left and right. You know what I mean? They're not covering as much. When Prime streaming has really got into it. With what are they doing? Is it Thursday night football? You know what I mean? So there's a lot of different services that are out there for people to watch football. So where a school doesn't want to move, in my opinion, what happens is that they're not going to move if it's not financially fit for them. If you know what I mean, if it's beneficial for them, they'll obviously think about it because they have to survive. But if it's not,
but on top of that, you're gonna have conferences are gonna come after Florida A&M. They're gonna come after Jackson State. They're gonna come after Southern, because those schools have a major crowd. I hope they don't fall for it, because it's a pimp game. But the Sun Belt is definitely going to come after Jackson State. They're going to come after Southern. They're going to come after FAMU, because they have a great following. Now, hopefully, they don't fall for that pimp game, because it's a pimp game. And I'm telling you, the reason they're going to go after those schools is because ESPN, like you just said, going to let them down. Because ESPN is making it known they can't carry them the MAC and the Sun Belt. They can't carry them people no more. They only interested, like Doc said, they interested in the SEC They interested in that Big Ten with Fox, and they interested in that Big 12. Listen, you see how they basically done cannibalized the Pac-12. What are they not, a Pac-4? What are they?
Probably a Pac-2 because
That's what I'm saying.
But what you was about to say, Cobi?
No, I said the Sun Belt is a thriving conference as long as they got Appalachian State, Georgia Southern, James Madison, they straight.
But Cobi, what about the money? What about that network money that's been helping them? That network money is getting ready to dry up.
Those 3 schools alone are going into Texas A&M, Nebraska, and they upset them, North Carolina, and they're competing with them.
Well, that's one of the reasons they want to destroy the ACC, because ESPN gave them all that money, gave them that network, and then the Appalachian State comes into not only Appalachian State, but Liberty comes into the ACC and beats up everybody except Clemson. That's another reason why the ESPN is trying to kill the ACC, because they're giving them all that money and they ain't done nothing in football.
Well, just let everybody know the missus, she did make it into LA. She just landed, so
that's good.
So
that's good.
Now we're about to move on to the next segment. My next segment. So I got this thing I call "Pump It or Dump It." I don't know. It was brought to me by by Uncle Sid.
Nice graphics. I love the graphics.
Yeah. So my whole thing is I debuted this last Wednesday, so I didn't get a chance to put in the rest of the little slide. But anyway, I'm gonna say pump or dump. South Carolina State wins more than 3 games this season.
Ain't no way this on here. I know you ain't gonna disrespect us like that.
I'm just asking. It's a question.
Oh, wait till Saturday.
But it's a legit question.
Tell him, Cobi. Tell him, Cobi. Tell him, Cobi.
It's your. But
man, listen, man, pump it. What you mean? The only guaranteed losses is Georgia Tech and Charlotte, like 2 FBS schools. Man, pump that, man.
Is Charlotte even good this season?
Huh?
Yeah, they went and got one assistance from Jim Harbaugh's staff, didn't they?
Man, okay. If they good this season, then I thought y'all could go up in there and beat up on them. A lot of everybody in the chat said pump it, because I think they think that South Carolina State gonna win more than 3 games.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It could be 4, it could be 5, it could be 6, it could be 7. It all depends. It all depends on how I'm gonna say it just like we gonna say it just like this. It's gonna be depend on how Corey feels.
They lose 1 conference game. That's the Central, isn't it? That's the only conference game they'll lose.
No, we beat Central the last 3 times.
You got to go to Durham this year?
Yeah, we got to go there. We got to go.
Okay, you get beat up there now.
And then
you get beat up there at Durham now.
Y'all go to Howard too.
They'll beat Howard. Right? I'm telling you, they lose 1 conference game. They lose to Central. That's it.
All right. Pump it or dump it, man. It's gonna be more than 18 points scored in this game.
You mean the game here in Atlanta?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's gonna be point scored.
I'm willing to pump that. I wouldn't say about much, but I'll say pump that.
Now that I don't know what Vegas was doing. I'm not gonna argue with them, but they made Jackson State an 18-point favorite in this game.
I think that's about right.
Who's 18-point favorites?
Jackson State.
No. I respect Buddy Pugh, and you know what, he knows what he's doing, and you know what, with Jackson State, we don't know what kind of team. I think they're going to be a really good team. I think you know what I mean. These first 4 games are going to be a sign of the year to come, because, like you said, it is a tough schedule. But I don't think they're favored by 18. I don't want to give that.
They'll cover the spread though.
You think they're going to beat them by 18?
No, but I'm just saying they'll cover the spread. They'll cover it. If they'll cover it, if you betting, you'll cover the spread. You'll
I
cover
might
that
have talked
line.
to me. I might have talked to MEAC Mike about that one because I know he probably betting on it.
Oh yeah, I forgot he do the Vegas liner.
Yeah.
But Jackson State is an 18-point favorite in this game, y'all. So just let everybody know.
I might have to take.
Huh.
I might have to take state for. I might have to take state in the points. I want JSU to win, but I might have to take those 18 points.
Pump it or dump it. Tennessee State loses by 60 to Notre Dame next week.
Ooh.
I think that, the thing that's going to help them is it's, you know what? You might be right on that. You might be right. Because isn't that kid from Wake Forest the quarterback at Notre Dame? That Sam Hartman or something? What's his name? Cobi, what's that kid's name? The transfer from
Sam Hartman is
that guy can play, man. I've seen him. Yeah, he the real deal. Yeah, you know what, Doc, you might be right on that. Of course, they're gonna try to embarrass them on national TV. Yeah, because they always try to embarrass us.
But the thing is too, we're how many Tennessee? How many players can Tennessee have on their roster? What is it?
I don't think it's gonna be 60.
You usually take what 60? You take 63 on the road, don't you?
Yeah.
And what's the Notre Dame carry?
Shit, they're gonna carry 85.
They're gonna have 100 and something. It's a home game.
It's a home game for them.
Yeah.
They're probably gonna dress over 100 players.
Rudy might even be playing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now they gonna listen. That they gonna open up. Well, you know what? Maurice and what's the name of friends? He might call them off.
Oh yeah,
Maurice
Marcus
and Eddie George are friends. Yeah. Were they teammates? Toby, were they teammates?
They were teammates at Ohio State.
That's what I'm saying. He might. Because let me tell y'all something. Now, y'all can say what y'all want to get mad about it. I watched North Carolina A&T play North Dakota State last year. North Dakota State could have put 70 points on them. The coach called them off. I watched him do it. They did. He called them off.
So everybody say dump it. They're not gonna lose by 60. So I think it'll be about 40. I don't know what the point spread for that one is, but I know it's gonna be a lot. So we got. Let's see who else we got, man. Because I'm looking at all these games because I think we're the only ones. Other than
it's somebody playing Navy, right? Who's playing Navy?
Notre Dame's playing Navy. They're playing in
That's the second. When is that?
No, they playing this weekend. So Notre Dame played Navy this weekend. They are in Ireland for that.
Dublin or somewhere?
Yeah. They're at Ireland. Let me see, because I'm looking at the schedule right now because the only other HBCU game is going to be the Red Tails Classic.
What date is that? Is that this Labor Day weekend?
Well, I think that is Labor Day weekend. Let me see, because
you know that guy got a lot of them A&T assistants down there at Fort Valley. That guy's running a good program. His name is Gibbs. What's his name, Cobi?
Sean Gibbs.
Sean Gibbs. That guy's running a good program down there at Fort Valley. He's got several of them guys from Rod Broadway's staff, the old staff at A&T. They know what they doing too.
All right, Blue said it was 36-3 at halftime, and
who was that?
Blue said it was 36-3 at halftime for North Dakota State. And
I watched the game. Listen, the coach called them off. I saw it. And let me tell you something. I gained a lot of respect for him because I was expecting them to try to run up 70, but he didn't do it. He could have did it, but that showed me he is a champion. I mean, it was obvious that it was two different leagues. To be honest with you, to me, it was like D1 playing Division II.
I got a question.
Yeah.
For y'all. Does Jackson State go undefeated, pump it or dump it?
Well, I'm going to say this. If they beat up FAMU like they did last year, yeah, they go undefeated. If they do what they did to FAMU last year, yeah, I think we can give them it all. We can give them the SWAC championship and give them the Celebration Bowl too. We can go ahead and give it to them. If they do that
What do you say,
59
Cole?
stuff again on FAMU like they did last year, yeah, I think they can go undefeated. The only problem would probably be that team down there in Texas.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I think it's a dump it. You know, it's a lot of questions, right? Like when you got a new coaching staff and new players, there's gonna be growing pains at some part during the season. You feel me? So I'm not saying Jackson State is gonna lose a lot of games, but that Texas State game is a question mark for that reason.
Now, to me, the biggest question mark on Jackson State is that quarterback situation. I got to see that. Now, I believe the Brown kid is going to be number one. But now, I'm going to say this to y'all, because I done talked to some people and I done read some stuff. That kid from Mississippi that transferred from Syracuse, now I know he the future, but I think that kid going to be heard from this year.
It all depends on what happened.
Yeah, because that kid, from what I've been told, that kid is something else, man. That kid is something else. What you say? Then you call him what? Jacoby? What'd you call him?
Jacoby and Morgan.
Yeah, man. Listen, I like I said, he the future, but he could be this year.
Yeah, he was on the show a couple of months ago, and I had him on.
Yeah, that kid, man. Because I read. Did you read what that Howard from that kid from Alcorn said about him?
Oh yeah, because they was teammates.
Yeah, listen, great players know other great players now. Don't forget that.
Yeah, they was
question.
Yeah, they was teammates. But yeah, man. I think let's see. So we're the only one that's playing this weekend because week 0, we were the only ones that have week 0 with the MEAC SWAC challenge. Next weekend
I got to get up early, so I got to be cutting off. But before I go, I want to thank you guys once again. But I want to hear a prediction for Saturday's game.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do that too. What you got, Cobi?
Well, I would say 24-18 South Carolina State.
I'm writing it down. I'm writing everything down. What do you say, Cobi?
24-18 South Carolina
South
State.
Carolina? Okay.
What you got, Mr. Ford?
I can't pick a score, but I'm picking Jackson by 3 touchdowns.
Woo!
Oh, Mr. Ford. Oh,
yeah.
He's picking the spread.
Yeah, I'm picking them. I think I go with the spread. I really do. Now, I still say the bigger game is that game in Miami. If they blow FAMU out like they did last year, guys, it's over. It's over.
What you got, Brian? What you say, Brian?
I say because it's the first game of the year, I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I'm going to go 21-17 Jackson State.
Okay. So with my pick, man, it's not gonna be a blowout because I don't see either team trying to blow each other out. I think it's gonna be a good game. I think it's gonna be good defense. Especially since South Carolina State, Jablonski Green coming back from injury. Patrick Godbolt, I watched the video here. I don't know where they made that dude in the lab from, but he looked like a tank, and Jablonski looked like a damn. He looked like
pro prospect. That's what he looked like. A pro prospect.
And you guys, a couple of more pieces that's coming in as far as on their defense. But to me, I'm gonna ride with the home team. I'm ride with the home school, Jackson State. I say 27-21 Jackson State.
Okay.
And after that, the fireplace is gonna be unplugged.
So
I
Cobi,
like these jokes. I love these jokes. You're gonna see.
I will pull up. If Timona was up here, she'll pull up the memes on you.
So Doc, Cobi, as you do an NFL Network,
bro. I swear, I'm gonna deactivate my page.
as they do on NFL Network, Cobi, you're alone. Woo, woo.
See, man.
Hey,
All right,
y'all
guys.
be good in the
See
MEAC,
you
Cobi.
soon.
All right,
Have a good night, guys.
If you're going on Saturday, you come on Saturday night. We'll be on Saturday night, man.
Listen, y'all have a good night too. I'm signing out. Hey, Cobi, y'all gonna be good in the MEAC.
All right, Mr. Ford, I appreciate you.
Okay, y'all have a good night.
So, like I said, man, look, I got 27-21 Jack State. Cobi got said 24-18 South Carolina State.
Look at these comments. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm gonna remember that. A few more days. It's all right.
Uncle said 42-17.
Listen, I'm not even entertaining that one. All right, I'm not entertaining that.
I don't know, man. I don't know because we done seen some. Look, last season, the last couple of years, we done seen some things happen at the MEAC SWAC challenge. We done seen Bethune-Cookman when they was riding high in their heyday, beat the brakes off of Prairie View. Yeah, the one seat. I don't know what year was that. 2013, 2014, something like that. I seen the score. It's like 64-14 or something like that. I was like, yeah, that was when Brian Jenkins was running the show. Got Uncle Said coming up. Oh man, but I'm not gonna sleep on South Carolina State. Like I said, that's the reason why I gave my score 27-21. I never said we were gonna blow them out. I just said it's 27-21. Now it's the game next week that's gonna tell the whole tale. Because if we win that game, if we win it, like you said, in convincing fashion, then you might as well just go on and call it a day.
That's it.
So, fam, you're gonna have to play catch up again, and I don't know if Willie gonna be on that hot seat because he got to play catch up, and he got to hope and pray somebody beat us. Right. What's going on, Uncle Sid?
Cobi. Me and him go back and forth. Cause I be commenting on this stuff, and I be like, don't be trying to give up all our players that we have. And then I tell him, like, we watching him, but I do. But honestly though, they got some wide receivers coming in, and I watched them over and over. Cobi nephew, when you dropped that video, I did little independent research. That's just that old school ref in me. I gotta see it for real. And them two wide receivers that you talking about, they the deal.
Appreciate you saying that.
They the deal. I'm gonna give credit where credit is due. But man, we so deep, man. Wait till you see it. We so deep. We.
So
I keep telling people, think about it this way. If you have marquee players leaving your program that got recruited to come in, right? That's quick to get picked up by other schools, i.e. FAMU. What does that tell you? Think about it. What does that tell you? Think about it. But now, seriously, man, I can't wait. I know we're going to talk noise, man. I'm so ready for football, nephews, man. It's like, man, Jesus. It's like when it get cold, when it get real cold and football start going off, it's like, oh, my God, it's time to suffer. But, you have NBA and, that's done first of the summer. But, I wish both teams great health. They go out and put on a great, pageantry, a great show. We have to come together as one because you have to understand this is one of the very first times in the evening time. Think about it this way. When was the last time that HBCUs actually had a headline game at 7, in the evening on ABC?
I don't even think it even happened like that.
The answer is, you just said it.
Never.
The only thing we have is a Bayou Classic, and that's during the daytime. Notice it's always like 12, 1 o'clock every year. But this is ABC prime time. So, we are one. And I ain't gonna tell no story, but I hated nephew Cobi, but we finna tax that ass.
Okay.
Saturday. I hate to say it.
All right.
You know, if anybody from the JSU culture got love for you, you know it's me. You can't name 100 videos that you have putting out that I have not made a comment on. I ain't talking about the live chat, and I ain't talking about calling in too. I'm talking about commenting after it goes off. Who won the very first person you see?
It be you.
All right.
It be you.
So I got love for you.
I know you do.
But nephew,
I know you gonna pick Jackson State.
Nephew, I'm finna get you. I'm finna get you. Cause see, the thing about it is, I'm gonna give you a hint. You better have Shaq Davis or some bloodline on that team. You better. you better go get you some Leonard. You better go get you some Hargrave. Some Cobi Durant.
Okay.
I'm trying, man. Okay. We shall see. And the only thing I hope that South Carolina State is worked out. I'm talking about hard. Y'all better. I'm talking about y'all better have been in the gym.
You trying to tell you?
Okay. All right. All right. Cause see, my uncle, Jason Brown Sr., he told me, this is what he told me. Mm-hmm. He said, nephew, I'm giving you 350 and 5 touchdowns by the third quarter. That's what he told me. That's what he told me. That's what he told me. No, but see, this the thing, nephew. Guess when he told me this? He didn't say this in August. He didn't say this in July.
He said it like in April.
Yeah, he said that then. So that's all I'm gonna say. And I'm gonna go ahead and get off the line, man. Y'all be easy, man.
All right, man.
I want y'all to enjoy this. I want y'all to enjoy this. Hey. Enjoy these days now. I want y'all to enjoy it. I'm gonna let y'all like all the trash. Go ahead.
Oh man, you know what? I'm gonna be so nice. I'm not even gonna. If I do a show, it won't be. It'll be my regular post game show that I used to have last year. But just for the MEAC SWAC challenge, the post game show would be on Sunday. So that way, when you get back to the house, I'm gonna put you on there like, hey, what's up?
Okay.
But man, look, we got games. Like I said, we got games. The game this week in Atlanta. Then on the 31st, it's Pine Bluff versus Tulsa. And I pray to God that Pine Bluff make it out that game in one piece. And then September the 2nd, you got Bethune versus Memphis. That's going to be a cakewalk for Memphis. You got Grambling versus Hampton. Now, everybody keeps saying, now, if Grambling loses to Hampton, Hugh Jackson needs to be reevaluated.
I mean, the man only had 1 year, man.
But that's what most people are saying now, because I don't even think they giving them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, they got to get that man adequate time to build. Like, let him change the culture. Let him ingratiate his culture in Grambling, and then you evaluate it.
That I would say that. You got Central State versus Mississippi Valley. I say Valley will win that game. I don't know how much, but they will win that game. Southern versus Alabama State. Now, this is one part of the Labor Day Classic. Whew. Now, I already had Bubba on the show on Monday. It all depends on who the quarterback gonna be. Whoever the quarterback gonna be. That's.
I'm gonna take Bama State.
You take Bama State.
I'm gonna take Bama State now.
All right. Yeah, blood gonna bleed out then. That's my quote for Southern right there. Blood gonna bleed out.
Hey, that's Russell. Hey, Russell, man. Don't pay attention to the comments, bro. They hate me.
Russell bet me, man. I think he said he wanted to bet me, so I don't know.
Put that money up, Russell. Don't be scared. You know what's gonna happen.
But let's see. We got Alabama A&M versus Vanderbilt. What if A&M get out a win, like squeak out a win against Vanderbilt? Because
ain't no way in blue hell, man. I don't see that happening.
Alcorn versus Southern Miss. I think it's gonna be hard for them to stop Frank Gore.
Yeah, I believe so as well. I think Jarvie and Howard have a good day, but you can't stop Frank Gore. You ain't getting no win.
Then you got Prairie View versus Texas Southern. That's the other Labor Day Classic. That's the real Labor Day Classic down in Houston. Now, if Texas Southern don't get jumped on like they did last year, okay, it's a whole different story. You know, they turned the ball over twice within the first 10 minutes of the game. And Prairie View just, they opportunists, and Conley didn't even have his best game of the season. I think he only had like 9 or 10 yards passing, but he had over 100 yards rushing.
I'm gonna go Texas. I believe in Texas Southern this year, actually.
Okay,
I do.
I think Andrew Body would be. I think he would get over his injury as far as the shoulder injury. And then too, the team is older now. Like they all came in together, so I think they're older. But this is also, to me, an indication that if the season starts out like it did last year for Texas Southern, then you have to do a reevaluation with Coach McKinney. And I'm not saying that he would be fired or anything, but I'm just saying a reevaluation. And then September the 3rd, which would be Jackson State versus FAMU. On paper, they say FAMU got us.
Right. They look really good on paper. They're impressive.
They're really good on paper. But just because they say on paper, they look good on paper, when it comes down to the nitty-gritty, when the real, when what they say, the bullets start flying, you either got it or you don't.
I think it'll be the best game in the series. I mean, even though the score was 7-6 in the first one, we all know it should have been by a few scores. Jackson State just kind of shot themselves in the foot with mistakes. And, of course, last year's massacre. I think this will be the best game in the series because, some of those guys that they got in the transfer portal are going to hit. Not all of them, but some of them. The receiving core is pretty impressive. Okay, they even got guys like Kareem Burke, who is going into his sophomore year, who I was very impressed by when he committed, and man, who Coach Simmons has said is having a real good fall camp. So yeah, it's going to be the best game so far in this series, but I still got Jackson State winning it.
Yeah, so like I said, it might look good on paper, but what's the old saying? Look like Tarzan, play like Jane. That's what they used to say. That's what they say all the time. The old people say. Oh my God, my missus, she is like telling me, you ain't doing no show on Friday. I'll be at the game Friday. I'll be at the game against Duncanville and South Oak Cliff. That game will be on ESPN for everybody that want to see that game right there. So MEAC, let's see what we got in the MEAC. Howard going to Eastern Michigan on the 1st. We
don't even gotta talk about that. That's a loss.
It'd be interesting though.
It's a loss.
Bowie versus Delaware State. That's an interesting game right there. I want to see what Kyle Jackson and his squad got going on this year.
Trap game for Delaware State.
I don't know. You lose it to D2 Bowie State.
Potential upset. They lost a lot. They don't got Snoop. They don't got Jarris Halsey. That running back room is amazing. Marquise Gilliard is I think his last name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that running back room is amazing still, but they got Ramel Harris Freeman back at corner, Nasir Clark at corner from Eastern Carolina.
Mario Goins as the linebacker.
Yeah, so they straight, but that is still a potential trap game.
We got the Bulldog fans up in here, man. What's up? Y'all kind of late, but we got the Bulldogs fans coming up in here. You got Norfolk State versus Virginia State. Trap game too.
Norfolk versus Virginia State. Yes.
That is a trap game.
But you know what though? Norfolk has a really good running back who was a true freshman. I forget his name, but he was on my top 5 underclassmen running backs.
Mm-hmm.
Really good. I think they got a transfer DB from Alabama. They'll be all right.
Let's see. We got Winston-Salem versus North Carolina Central. Easily is going to be Central. Easily going to be Central. South Carolina State versus Charlotte. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
And Morgan State versus Richmond. Ooh, that is that one is that's gonna hurt.
You said who?
Morgan versus Richmond.
Morgan can win that. With that defense, they can win that. I don't know who at quarterback.
Man. So let's see. The CIAA Fayetteville State start their season off with UNC Pembroke. I think I got people. I'm gonna say it like this: people are sleeping on Fayetteville State. They said that they might not win the CIAA this year. Some people are picking Shaw, and I'm like, I don't see that happening. I don't see it happening. Come up with a better. We got to come up with a better excuse. Albany State played Wingate. Wingate went to the D2 playoffs last season. Albany State was formidable in the SIAC. Of course. That would be the first game on the 31st on Thursday for Quinn Gray at Albany.
That's a good matchup.
That's a good matchup. I'm looking down on here. We got. Let's see. I'm looking. All right, we got Lincoln, PA versus Clarion. I want to see what Isaiah Freeman is all about for Lincoln.
I don't know much about those two schools.
So Lincoln, Pennsylvania, they're gonna have a sophomore at quarterback, Isaiah Freeman. Had almost close to 2,000 yards passing. Little bit of a gunslinger. I want to see what he about. Especially our boy Gerald, since he's the linebacker coach up there at Lincoln. So he's been telling me about him. Clark Atlanta versus Kentucky State. I got Clark Atlanta winning this game. This is on next Thursday. I'm just looking. Then he got the Friday, Saturday games next week. So we already said Bowie State versus Delaware State. So that you said that's a trap game. Elizabeth City versus Catawba. I don't know about that one.
Johnson. Remember them. I think I used to play them in college. That's the only reason why I remember Catawba.
Yeah, Johnson C. Smith versus West Virginia Wesleyan. Johnson C. Smith is coming out. I'm looking at what they're doing, as far as what they're doing as their engagement. Social media engagement. They look like they got a pretty good squad coming out. Let's see. Miles College versus Lane College. Now, this is in Jackson, Tennessee.
Give me Miles.
You give you Miles?
Yeah.
I take Lane with this one. I take Lane. Shaw. This is a big one. Shaw versus Benedict.
Ooh, give me Benedict. Give me Benedict.
I got Benedict. I got Benedict by 3 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
I got Benedict by 3 touchdowns. Bluefield State versus Livingstone. So now this is Bluefield State's first season back in the CIAA in over 70 years.
Wow.
and they take on Livingstone. I got I might have Livingstone by a touchdown.
Okay.
Allen versus Erskine. I take Erskine.
Allen is so hard to analyze, man, because they got the talent, but it's like they're always on the cusp of getting to that next step, but they don't just quite get there every year. So I don't know. But that quarterback that they have, Allen, I think is his name, special.
So we got the Big Cat Classic, Florida Memorial versus Edward Waters. I'm gonna take Edward Waters because I feel like they trending up. I feel like they trending up because last season they had a couple of games that they lost by like touchdown or less. You got Savannah State versus Southeastern. I don't know what Savannah State is all about. I just gotta watch them. I'm gonna kind of keep an eye out on them. And then September the 3rd, you got the Red Tails Classic, Fort Valley versus Tuskegee. That's over in Montgomery at the Crampton Bowl. And then you got Morehouse versus Virginia Union.
Ooh,
so,
as long as Virginia Union got old boy in that backfield, give me
Jada Byers. Yeah. I take them. Morehouse, it give me about another year or so. They should be back on track. Fort Valley versus Tuskegee. Fort Valley got a QB named Kelvin Durham Jr. Dude almost threw for 2,000 yards, 16 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. I think he completed a little bit over 65% of his passes. He's a pocket passer. He's a gunslinger. But he takes care of the ball. Like I said, 4-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. But then again, you're going up against Tuskegee. Tuskegee is coming in with a new head coach and a renewed sense of we got to get ourselves back on track. We got to get back to the, I feel like they said they got to get back to the point where people feared Tuskegee. But also Tuskegee played Benedict in the SIAC championship last season, even though they got beat by 20-something points. But other than that, man, look, we got a whole bunch of football in the next couple of days coming up. But we all gonna be glued in on Saturday night to the MEAC SWAC Challenge. Also, make sure you follow your favorite NFL, your favorite HBCU NFL player. Shouts out to Zay Bolden for persevering through that nasty tackle, the fall, whatever you want to call it. But it was just nasty. He got full range of his extremities. He's up, he's walking, he back with the team. I don't think he plays in his last preseason game, but in my heart, I'm gonna feel just like this. He'll make that 53-man roster just because he can play special teams. and it is good to have a guy like Matthew Slater that's who's a special teams god for that team, that can teach you how to do everything. And then he could develop his game as far as being a nickel corner or a safety. Whatever Belichick want to put his ass at, that's where he gonna play.
With that speed, yeah, he gonna be just fine somewhere. They're gonna find a spot for him. So
and the Cowboys, we play Saturday. We play the Raiders. Now I did say, this is the only time that I would cheer for a FAMU Rattler. with Isaiah Land and Marquise Bell on the squad, it's the only time that I would cheer for a Rattler. But other than that, I won't do anything else, man. But man, I appreciate you coming on here, and I think everybody's going on to Ken Clark. So
no, but thank you for having me, man. This was fun. This is real fun.
Oh yeah, we gonna talk noise again because I'm telling you, y'all lose,
man.
If y'all lose, y'all lose. Look,
it's gonna be hard to find me.
We gonna find you. We gonna find you.
Put the bat signal out or something.
We gonna find you. So. But all right, man. Y'all have a good one. You have a good one, man. Let them know. Everybody know what you got coming up.
Hey, shoot, I ain't got time to have nothing coming up, man. I'm on
you leaving out this weekend?
Yeah, I got Timona's show tomorrow night that I'm on. So look out for that. We gonna talk. I think that's gonna be a call-in show talking about the same thing: Jackson State, South Carolina State. So that's tomorrow night. After that Friday, I'm leaving Atlanta. So I mean, I ain't really got time to put nothing out. I'm just waiting.
Man, both of y'all literally got a 4 or 5 hour drive because she is Charlotte.
Yeah, man, but you still gotta get stuff done. Like you gotta pack, you gotta do like
it would be different for me because shoot, I'm coming all the way from Dallas, and I ain't gonna do no flying. I don't care what anybody say. You gotta knock me the hell out to get me on the planes, like for real. But nah, man, it'll be different though. But like I said, Thursday I ain't really doing too much tomorrow, and then Friday I'm gonna be watching Duncanville South Oak Cliff. Shout out to them Golden Bears over in my neck of the woods. And then Saturday, man, even though I'm be at work, I'm pretty much gonna come home and watch the game and give my little critique and see what happens. And then if we win, I'm gonna find you on Twitter, bro. And if we lose, I'm gonna be right here. I ain't running nowhere.
Yeah, no, I just can't wait. It's too much unknown about this game. I'm ready to see the outcome.
Yeah, man. But like, look, it's gonna be a good game. We, 2-story programs, y'all. 3 national championships for Jackson State, 8 for South Carolina State. We both got 18 conference championship. Like, bro, it's gonna be a good game.
Yes,
It's two great teams in a great city and on one of the best networks. So you can't miss out with that one. But anyway, man, I appreciate you coming on here and be ready for the memes when y'all get ready to lose, bro.
Man, good night, man. All
right, bro.
All right.
Man, Cobi, man. I appreciate everybody coming on tonight. Now, make sure that y'all subscribe. Hit that notification bell to get everything HBCU Overdrive. This has been HBCU Tonight, episode 37. The Fireplace is here. Y'all already see it. In conjunction with HBCU Overdrive, man. Look, it was a good show. Good night. Like I said, the missus, she is in LA. And I'm happy that she made it in. She's already fussing at me, talking about, you ain't doing no show after this. You ain't doing no show after this. Look, do what you got to do. But anyway, but in all, man, it was, I appreciate everybody coming on here. Make sure y'all hit the cash out to do we're doing our last week of our initiative for this week, for the month. And also make sure that y'all, like I said, if you want to become an exclusive member, you can hit that join button. We got 2 tiers, one for $4.99, one for $6.99. Everything that you do, it goes either to the channel or to an initiative that we got planned up, y'all. But other than that, I am Doc Holliday. I am the voice of HBCU culture. We out this thing until this weekend, y'all. Peace.